Hi everybody, it's Sarah Cray with Let's Make Art, and today I am joined by
Luna Cray.
Luna Cray. And how old are you, Luna?
10.
10. And this is my daughter. She is my middle child, my wild child. And today we are painting, do you want to hold up yours? Spider webs. And this project is super fun. It's very beginner friendly. If you want to do this with your family, you absolutely can, or your kids, or just by yourself. If you wanted a quick, easy project, this is for you, okay?
All right.
So the first thing that we're going to do is I am going to teach you guys how to draw a spider web, okay? And so basically there's two different ways that you can go about doing this. Luna is going to show you one way, and I'm going to show you another way. My way, I'm going to be using some masking fluid that I just got, and I'm going to test it out. Luna is actually going to be using a crayon to use as to act as a resist for her watercolor paint. Okay, so if you just have like a white Crayola crayon, that works great too. All right, so you can do it two different ways. And then we'll draw, we'll resist, and we'll paint. And that's it, three steps.
And if you're doing crayon, you have to have like a light.
That's a great idea. We'll show them how to do that when it's our turn, when it's that step, okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay, but before we get started, Luna, we do an oath here. It's very serious business, so I need you to raise your right hand and repeat after me.
Okay.
I promise to be kind to myself.
I promise to be kind to myself.
I promise not to compare my work.
I promise to not compare my work.
And I promise to have fun.
I promise to have fun.
Thank you. Okay, so what I want you guys to get is a scratch paper. So we have a drawing paper here. We're going to practice drawing a spider web. Now, how Luna is going to transfer her spider web is she's going to use a window or a light box. So basically, whatever spider web she draws here, that's what is going to transfer to her watercolor paper, okay? For me, I'm just going to show you how to draw it, and then we will draw with our masking fluid. So grab a marker or a pen. Now, when you do a spider web, you want to kind of have a central point to start with. So I like to do a tiny, tiny little dot, and that just helps me remember where things start. Off of my tiny dot, I'm going to be doing some kind of spikes or lines going out of it, kind of like sun rays a little bit. Yep. So we're just going to go out, out, out. And you might be wondering, well, how many do you do? Honestly, it doesn't really matter because spiders create webs to fit the area that they're creating the web, right? And so there's not, I mean, maybe there is a pattern and I don't know. But basically, you can do as many kind of big spikes as you want. And then now what we're going to do is we are going to work from the inside out, and we're going to do curved lines. So the curved line is going to go towards the center. And section by section, we're going to be doing curved lines. So I like to do it almost like a circle. And you can twist your paper if you need to. Yep.
There's some poor spider expert out there in YouTube land going, actually,
I know.
spiders do this for this reason.
I know, there actually is this like standard.
The spiders we've asked have no plans, you know?
Exactly.
All the ones we've talked to.
So I'm just going to do it kind of layer by layer, working my way out, connecting using curved lines. And you don't want these little sections to be too close to each other. It's okay if sometimes they get a little bit close, but if you do it too close, then sometimes you won't leave space for the paint to be able to be seen. Now, the other thing too that's pretty cool is I have noticed when I was looking at different spider webs that when you get kind of like out here where there's like right here, there's a really short different distance between these lines. When you get out here, that's such a big difference that I've noticed that spiders will sometimes do like that, like a half weave, I guess. So it's okay if some of your webbing in between turns into a straight line, or if you have like a secondary line that goes like this.
Oops, sorry.
No, you're doing great. How's your... That's looking so good, Luna. Love it. And then don't forget that you can go back in the middle, very center, and do some like smaller ones if you have space for it. I had a little bit of space for it. And I'm going to kind of mess up my lines a little bit, like so.
I learned that if web is in danger of getting wet from rain, the spider will eat it.
Really?
Because they can recycle. It's expensive for a spider to make silk. But if they eat their own web, their body kind of reabsorbs the silk stuff, and it's easier for them
And
to
they
make
just
it
can
again.
reuse it. That is amazing.
I thought you could do that with blood. Then Ella told me you can't.
Yeah, please do not drink your own blood. Okay, so now that we have an understanding of how to draw spider webs, we can now think about painting. So how Luna is going to transfer her web is, and this is great for kids at home, is you're going to take your spider web, you're going to put it underneath your watercolor paper. I'm going to tape it there so it stays. And then what you can do is you can go up to a window. You can, if you don't have a Lightbox, we have a Lightbox that Luna is going to use right off camera here. But if you hold it up to a window, and actually I'll show you just using my flashlight, you can also put a flashlight underneath a baking pan and create your own light box. But if you put a light underneath, you can start to see it.
Cool.
We're super illuminated here because of the studio, but a light box or a illuminated window would work beautifully. So she is going to take this to the window or a light box and then use her crayon and trace her markers using the crayon over the light box. Okay? So I'm going to have you go do that right over there while I draw my spider. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, there's that. Okay. So for me, I'm going to be using masking fluid on mine. So I'm going to take my paper here. And this is a new masking fluid. This is Schminke. And I had someone send this to me because I said, if you have some masking fluids that you recommend. And she sent one to me. And so thank you so much. And now I'm going to draw with it. So you can... You don't want to use a pencil first to draw when you're using masking fluid because the pencil will show up and it kind of will destroy the illusion of the web. So I'm just going to eyeball it. But if you would feel comfortable using Luna's method, you can do the same thing with masking fluid instead of a crayon. You can use a light box to be able to trace your drawing underneath. Okay, but I'm just going to go for it.
I think there's one more important thing you should tell people about masking fluid, which is don't use your good brush, right?
Yes, or you just want to wash your brushes very, very well after. Okay, so I'm using a liner brush for this because I want my spider web to be nice and thin. Okay, so I have noticed that if I want my spider web to look like realistic, you want to go for really, really paper thin lines. Did you trace yours, Luna?
Yeah.
Good job. Okay, I'm going to move this. And Luna, you can get to painting if you want.
Okay. Gonna put my pen here.
So here's your water. Luna is using liquid watercolors. She chose the color. She wanted pink, purple, and blue. So that is what she's going to use. And she's going to be painting that while I add my masking fluid. Now, also the thing to think about too is that spider webs are so light that sometimes they have a little bit of wave in them. Sometimes we think that spider webs have to be like stick straight, and sometimes they are. But I've also seen spider webs, like especially in between like plants and flowers, they kind of have like a looseness to them, and they kind of move in the wind a little bit, and they have a strong curve. Can you like picture what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
At our house,
Yeah.
you know when we come out on the stairs,
Yeah.
there's a little spider web between the porch and the stairs.
Oh, yeah.
When it rained, I saw it.
Actually, we saw is it an orb weaver?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so those spiders are huge and really cool. And they make these huge, intricate webs in such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
We have a little stairway, like Luna was saying, from like our porch stairway entrance. And we like came home one day from school. We ate dinner, all of that kind of stuff. And then we went out late. Was it that night?
Yeah, we were going to somewhere.
We were going to somewhere that night, and there was the biggest spider web just across the whole opening. You okay?
Yeah, scared.
The whole opening of our porch with this huge orb weaver right in the middle of it. It was beautiful.
Can you do this? You can tell an orb weaver because they put their legs like that. They pair them up.
I
Yeah,
can't put it like that, but I can go like this.
nice. They pair
Ooh.
it's like 2 and 2 and 2 and 2. That's how you can tell. They call them garden spiders also. They look scary, but they're very friendly.
They do look really scary. Like when I saw it, I was like, it scared me. Well, just to have like your entire opening to get out covered
Yeah.
in this like web, you're like, whoa. And
It's
then
like a
have this
6-foot square that we're talking about. It was huge.
it was huge. And then this big spider right in the middle of it. You go like, whoa, you know? But then you like stop for a second and be like, okay, but how insane and amazing is this creature?
I just love thinking that it was planning on catching one of us. It's like, I saw this big food going to that house. I'm going to build this web.
It was probably looking for Arlo.
Probably could catch Arlo.
Yeah.
So you know the daddy long legs?
Yeah.
So I went outside because you made us go outside.
Yeah.
And I saw the biggest daddy long leg there ever is. And it was huge and it was on the porch. And I screamed.
So what's funny about, and you guys might know this if you have kids, but each child reacts to bugs very differently. My oldest, Ella, is not afraid of bugs.
She loves them.
Yeah, she'll save spiders, like any kind of bug she's totally fine with. Luna cannot handle bugs of any,
Like
kind.
fireflies, I like them.
Uh-huh.
And then I caught one. And I just saw it crawling with my hand, and I was like, Ella, take it. Take it now.
Arlo used to be okay with bugs, but he got bit by a wasp recently, and now he has a little bit of fear of all bugs.
Which I understand
That's sad.
because being bit by a wasp really hurts.
Wasps are the worst.
Wasps, I don't like.
Me neither. Okay, the other thing I want to point out as you're painting your spider web too is that it's okay if some areas of the web are a little bit thicker than other. And the reason why that's okay is because if you look at a spider web, it's so papery thin that sometimes we don't see it all evenly. There are some parts of the web that are more illuminated or more visible due to the light. And then there are other parts that are not as visible. And so when you have a thin and thick line when it comes to a spider web, we're basically acknowledging the different light that we would see when seeing a spider web in real life. So I don't want you to stress if your lines are imperfect or uneven.
Because every spider web is different.
Every spider web is different, and we don't see the lines evenly because of how thin it is. Luna, the colors you're getting there are so beautiful. I love it.
Thank you. Oh, my arm's hurting.
Painting is hard work. And Luna is just using a round 12 brush. And the biggest thing, Luna, is remember to dip. You want to take your paintbrush, water, paint, paper.
Okay.
Water, paint, paper. And that will help you use a lot of water when painting your paper. Okay?
I love all animals, really. I can't get down with holding spiders. I appreciate spiders. I'm not like a crush it when I see it type person, but I don't want to hold them.
Yeah.
Some people like holding, some people have like pet tarantulas and stuff, and that's cool, but not for me.
That's cool. Not for me.
Not for
At
me.
school, we were waiting in our line at the girls' bathroom to wash our hands. There was a spider. I literally smashed it when my
Ruthless.
So we were waiting in line, and then my friend Ella behind me, she screamed spider. Oh, didn't scream, but she said like spider.
Yeah.
And I literally turned around and stepped on it.
Oh my gosh. Did you kill it? That's kind of sad.
I was scared it was gonna bite me.
I learned, so spiders have like usually a lot of eyes so they can see well. Daddy longlegs only have 2 eyes and they're terrible. Daddy longlegs can't see very well, but they use their legs like antennas kind of. They can like feel vibrations.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I heard something about daddy long legs, and I don't know if it's true. So maybe Michael, the fact man, can help us.
Or the spider person.
The spider person, that's your official title. I heard that daddy long legs are actually some of the most like venomous or poisonous spiders, but their mouths are so tiny that they can't actually bite you. And so they're like not dangerous, but if their mouths were big enough, they would be dangerous. Is this true?
Not at all.
Oh, okay.
I only know because I have heard the same thing.
Yeah.
And I had to look it up because like that was a crazy fact.
Yeah.
They are not venomous at all. And daddy longlegs are called harvest men,
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is like such a creepier name.
Yeah, it kind of is.
It reminds me like of a sweet little old man.
Yeah. Especially how they move with their long legs. Maybe they're like canes or something. Okay, so I finally finished drawing my spider web. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that the masking fluid is completely dry before you paint it. Okay.
Rub it off.
Now, when you use a crayon or a wax resist like Luna used here, you can go to painting right away because the wax is acting as the resist. And so you don't have to wait for anything to dry. You can just paint right on top of it. Okay. Luna, look at these colors that you're getting and look at the blooms happening here on the watercolor. It's beautiful.
Thanks. Go away now.
Oh yeah, that's Natalie. Okay,
I kind of just snapped it.
that's good. Now what I'm going to use is I'm going to do a single color here, and this is where it's super fun for you guys to kind of like be playful. Luna's doing like rainbow pink, purples, and blues. Those are her favorite colors. I'm going to actually just use Sodalite Genuine. Sodalite Genuine is a granulating color, so that means I'm going to get some really cool textures. Luna, do you see these textures right here where it kind of looks like chunks?
Do you just like smack it?
No, this is what the paint does on its own because of that it's a granulating color. So that's what I'm going to use. So, and I'm going to not paint edge to edge. I'm basically just going to put water in around my web. Of course, after making sure that the masking fluid is dry, because if it's not dry, it could get in your very nice brush and
Ruin it.
ruin it.
No one likes that.
No one likes that.
This reminds me of a discontinued candy corn.
A discontinued candy corn?
Yeah.
Like
Like they don't make it anymore?
like they don't make it anymore or
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Did you know my American Girl doll, my real one, the one that Grandma Mary got me, that one's discontinued and so is Ella's.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay, so after I used and wet the entire web, I just dropped in Sodalite Genuine throughout. And it's just going to kind of diffuse out. I'm going to let some areas be darker. I'm going to let some areas be lighter. And what I want here is kind of like a softer edge along the edge of my spider web. So I'm just going to take clean water and then just kind of mush.
Mine's not clean. Mine's like dark purple.
Well, you're painting edge to edge, which is great. That means you're going from one edge of the paper to the other. For me, I'm going to let the edges of my paper be white, and I'm just kind of softening where it kind of comes, and so it will kind of fade out a little bit. And this is also a really fun opportunity if you guys want to try sprinkling in salt. You can do that.
Do we have salt?
I do in my studio. Do you want to get some?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me go get it.
Do you just like...
Uh-huh. So it's only going to show up on the areas that are still wet. So you want to, and then you twist it.
you twist it.
Yeah. So yes, you can do salt.
Oh.
I'm not going to do salt in mine only because I'm using a granulating paint, which by itself is going to create a lot of really cool textures. So I don't think salt is necessary for mine, but it's always kind of a fun element to add.
I like salt.
Oh my gosh, I have better daddy longleg facts now. I've done more research.
Okay, I wanna
as
hear.
is tradition. I'm going to read you just verbatim what we got going here.
Okay.
There are two common creatures that people call daddy longlegs. The first, harvest men, which is what you're thinking of, are arachnids, but they're not even true spiders. They don't have any venom glands and they don't even have fangs.
What?
Okay. The other kind of spider that people call daddy longlegs, probably not in this part of the world, are called cellar spiders.
Yeah.
I looked them up. They kind of look similar, but it's not what we see. They have venom glands and teeny tiny things, but like enough to like hurt a mosquito.
Okay.
So neither of them are even close. The myth, I guess, was just kind of a game of telephone. Someone said like, hey, did you know that cellar spiders have venom? And then it just turned into like, they have tiny fangs and they're venomous. And then it was like, they're the most venomous thing ever.
Okay, I see.
Who said that?
Everybody.
Everybody.
That's not true. If it is, then I would be screaming when I see it.
Daddy longlegs aren't true spiders. That was the fact of the thing for me.
That is so fascinating.
Yeah.
And what are they, arachnids?
They're in the arachnid family, yes.
Okay, so for me, I finished doing my loose wash. I just did one color, Sodalite Genuine, and then you want to make sure that this has completely dried before you remove the masking fluid. So Luna also added some salt to hers, which looks awesome. You need to let that completely dry before you can see the full salt effects.
Salt.
So we will cut back into this when our paintings have dried. Okay, now after your masking fluid and your watercolor paper have dried and cooled off, we're going to remove the masking fluid with this. This is called a rubber cement pickup. You can also use your finger. I will say that in my experience though, when I use my finger, it tends to actually smear the paint around because like if you get like sweaty.
Can I try?
Yeah. So you're just going to take that.
Oh, it's hard. I thought it
Yeah,
Be
it's
like-
really hard, huh?
I thought it would be like a sponge.
You want to press a little bit harder to remove it. There you go. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
is that this? You smell, Birdie?
So I'm just going to go through and erase all of the masking fluid, and you can see that it's going to leave and expose the white paper underneath from wherever you made that mark.
While you do that, can I make my little spider?
Yes. Luna's going to add a cute little black spider to her web. Just make sure your painting is dry before you draw on it.
It's hard because there's salt on here.
Yeah. Sometimes salt is really fun textures, but usually you can't draw your paint after because of how bumpy it makes it. Okay, so far this masking fluid has been awesome. I'm not getting any tearing. It's removing very cleanly.
My spider, it's a little monkey.
Oh, I love it.
His name's Wonk.
Wonk the spider. That's the perfect spider name. Okay. Now, there's one final thing that you can do if you want. Well, if you're like Luna and you want to add a little bit of a spider, you can. Or I always have bleed-proof white at the ready, which is this white opaque paint right here. So then if there's like an area where maybe your masking fluid didn't quite get there, or you want to add a couple more lines, you can do some finishing details with some bleed-proof white. So I'm going to finish wiping this, and then I'm going to see.
They kind of look like broken glass.
Oh, it does. It's beautiful. Okay, did I get all the areas? Do you see any masking fluid left? Got it?
No.
Yeah. I'm just going to do it. Oh, let me show you how to do that. So if you have a lot of salt, well, this is too wet.
Stay away, stay away, stay away.
Once it dries, Luna, you can take your paper and you just do this. And that would remove all the salt. So yeah, maybe hit it with a heated craft tool. And then I'm going to add I lost a tiny, tiny bit of webbing. So I'm just going to add that back in using bleed-proof white and that same liner brush.
Remember when someone said I should have one of these?
Have one of what?
A heated craft tool?
What do you mean?
Like we were doing like the Ladybug Live or something. They said you should get Luna.
Yes.
And when Dad said he would burn the house down.
Okay, I'm just going to add a couple more.
This is making me really hot.
Yeah, it's really hot. A couple more strands here and there.
For our latest art project, some people might get put in like an art show, you know, that I go
Uh-huh.
and get in sometimes. We did like this little, because it's like going to cold and fall.
Uh-huh.
So we made like these colorful leaves to like leave prints and put it on our paper. And then we made a little animal reading a book. But
You
the
did?
book looks like a bat on mine. And I made it like a weird cat looking thing.
That sounds cool.
I think it's dry.
Okay, and I'm just adding just into some sections where there's maybe not a lot of activity, just doing a little extra line.
Could I do it this way?
Yeah.
Crisp. Mom, now my like thing is.
That's okay. All right. I think we're done here, Luna.
I'm gonna rip this off.
Yeah, take that off. And then we are going to hold it up front facing to the camera so they can see both of our
I
works.
think this spider should know than this spider because I didn't add salt.
Okay, yes. But what I like about your spider on this one is that because you did the salt and did it when it was kind of wet, it looks hairy. And spiders are hairy sometimes, so I thought Okay, you ready? We're gonna hold ours up. Ready?
What?
1, 2, 3.
Why
What? What?
why is Harry Potter in the movie when he's not hairy?
I don't know. That's a great question. Okay. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed painting this spider web. I hope that you can see that there's a bunch of different ways that you can do it and that it's super fun, beginner friendly, loose, no stress. Play with water and color and textures, play with different colorways and all of that kind of fun stuff. And you can have some fun little Halloween decor and activity that you can do by yourself or with some family and friends.
Sponsored by salt.
Luna, thanks so much for joining me. All right, love you. Love you. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.